We are taught from childhood that being nice is the ultimate virtue. We are told to share, to put others first, and to avoid conflict at all costs. But there is a point where niceness ceases to be a virtue and becomes a psychological prison. If you are someone who constantly says yes when you want to say no, if you find yourself apologizing for things you didn't do, or if you chronically overextend yourself to keep the peace, you aren't just being kind. You are trapped in a survival mechanism. Psychology reveals that extreme niceness is rarely about genuine altruism. More often, it is a sophisticated defense mechanism designed to protect you from your deepest fears: rejection, confrontation, and abandonment. When you cross your own boundaries to please someone else, you aren't acting out of love for them. You are acting out of fear. You are secretly saying no to yourself so that someone else won't say no to you. To understand why you became this way, we have to look backward. Nobody is born a chronic people pleaser. It is a learned behavior, usually developed in early childhood. In developmental psychology, we find that children who exhibit extreme niceness often grew up in environments where love felt conditional. Perhaps you had a parent who was emotionally volatile, hypercritical, or struggling with their own unaddressed trauma. In these environments, a child quickly learns that expressing their true feelings, like anger, sadness, or disappointment, results in withdrawal, anger, or rejection from the caregiver. To survive and secure love, the child adopts a persona, the good child. You became hyper-vigilant, learning to read the subtle shifts in the room's energy. You anticipated everyone else's needs before your own, because being useful was the only way to feel safe. Over time, this coping mechanism solidifies into your adult identity. You don't know who you are without your usefulness to others. There is a darker subconscious side to chronic niceness that psychology calls the covert contract. Because people pleasers find it difficult to ask for what they want directly, they use extreme niceness as a currency to buy cooperation. The unwritten, unspoken contract goes like this: if I am perfectly nice to you, never inconvenience you, and anticipate all your needs, then you must love me, treat me well, and never leave me. But here is the tragedy of the covert contract. The other person has no idea they signed it. When people inevitably cross your unspoken boundaries or fail to reciprocate your level of effort, deep resentment builds inside you. This resentment is toxic because it has nowhere to go. Because you are too nice to express anger, you repress it, turning it inward. This manifests as chronic fatigue, anxiety, or sudden passive-aggressive outbursts that confuse the people around you. Your niceness creates the very distance you're trying to avoid. Empathy without boundaries isn't kindness. It is self-sabotage. And unfortunately, the universe fills a vacuum. When you walk through life with zero boundaries, you become a beacon for specific psychological archetypes, namely narcissists and manipulators. Manipulative individuals possess an uncanny ability to spot a people pleaser. They recognize your inability to say no as an open invitation to exploit your time, energy, and emotions. At first, they may shower you with praise, validating your need to feel useful, but gradually, the dynamic shifts. They demand more, and because your self-worth is tied to making them happy, you give more, draining your internal battery until there is nothing left. The irony is profound. By trying to make everyone like you, you end up surrounded by the very people who respect you the least. Breaking free from the trap of being too nice does not mean becoming cruel, selfish, or cold. It means shifting from a state of passive compliance to a state of authentic kindness. Authentic kindness is a choice made from a position of strength, not a compulsion born out of fear. To reclaim your life, you must learn to tolerate the discomfort of other people's temporary disappointment. When you start setting boundaries, some people will get angry. But remember this psychological truth. The only people who get upset when you set boundaries are the ones who benefited from you having none. Start small. The next time someone asks you for a favor that drains you, practice delaying your response. Instead of an immediate yes, say, "Let me check my schedule and get back to you." This breaks the automatic compliance habit. True respect from others doesn't come from the boundaries you cross to please them, but from the boundaries you stand by to respect yourself. It is time to stop apologizing for occupying space in this world. You do not need to earn the right to exist by being useful. You are allowed to say no, and in doing so, you finally say yes to yourself.